When things go wrong in boating, it can happen for a myriad of different reasons. Sometimes it'll be weather-induced, sometimes it'll be mechanical-induced, and other times we'll just make boneheaded decisions, just like some of the things we're going to witness in this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Let me know in the comments below what you think caused the incident we just witnessed where they came in and smacked the dock. Was it weather-induced? Was Captain coming in too fast? Or maybe somebody in the crew was to blame? Let me know. But sometimes it's going to be other people to blame. We'll be out there enjoying a day of boating with our crew, just relaxing, having a good time, and somebody else decides they're going to spoil our fun.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
Now sometimes you'll feel bad for the people who got hit. You're like, man, why is this guy out there ruining their day? But the reality is I feel bad for the people who are on his boat, because I got a feeling they're not going to have any fun on this day of boating.
I got all this on film. I got a loose one.
I mean, all you can really do on this one is hope and pray that this crew winds up making it back to whatever marina they rented that boat from in one piece, and things don't get turned upside down on them like it did for this crew. Things can go wrong in boating pretty quickly. You always got to be ready and always got to be paying attention. Even when you don't think something can get you, it still will every once in a while. And don't get me wrong, it's not just us regular people out there making mistakes. Even the pros sometimes get out there and make mistakes. You know, you talk about people being over-trucked or not having enough truck at the boat ramp, but I guess there really truly is a thing as having too much truck down at the boat ramp. Now sometimes when boneheaded decisions are made, it's hard to tell whether it's actually captain or crew's fault, but the reality is on a boat, it's really always captain's fault. He's the one who's out there and supposed to stop you if you're not doing something right. He's the one in charge of getting you back safely, even in the worst of conditions. Now sometimes it'll be unexplained what exactly went wrong in your boating day, because in certain situations you're not going to have time to figure it out. As a captain, it's your responsibility is to make sure you get everybody to safety, even if that safety is just on the nose of the boat. This one's one of those really tricky situations though. Let me know in the comments here what exactly you would do as well if you were out in the open ocean and ran across a situation like this. Now of course, as humans we all want to help, but I always remind everybody, help is not always what you think. Sometimes, if you're unsure about the situation, help is a call to the Coast Guard and waiting there with these guys while you wait on the Coast Guard to arrive. Now don't get me wrong, if you're rescuing somebody and you feel comfortable like this crew, bringing them on board, by all means do so, because that's the safest place for them. But always think about the situation. The move you might want to make isn't always the one you would expect. Kind of like this situation, you saw how slick it was with the guy walking down the ramp. Now imagine a few thousand-pound car that weighs a whole lot more than him. Well, guess what? It's just going to slide down the ramp faster. Now, speaking of moves you don't want to make, if you're out there doing something you shouldn't be doing, and you pass a police officer, probably not the brightest idea to fly the bird.
What was that about? Flipping us off.
But don't worry, this crew's about to learn the lesson the hard way. As we've got several people on board this boat, the officers decide they're going to go ahead and stop them and do a full vessel inspection, making sure they have enough life jackets on board for everybody and all other proper safety equipment.
I need 9 life jackets, your registration, a throw up on a fire extinguisher. How old are you, bro? I'm 18. 18? Want to see driver's license? Yeah, who on this boat's over 21? No way. Alrighty, there's a whole bunch of alcohol in here, I can smell it. For me, there's a 90 light can sitting on the ground.
I mean, everybody can take a lesson from this one. If you're doing things you should not be doing out on the water, why draw more attention to yourself? Why make a move or an action that is going to draw more attention to you and your vessel and probably wind up getting you in trouble just like it did this kid?
Yeah, but that calls a lot of attention. Yeah, no, I just want to feel it. Alright, turn up. Stand up. Turn up.
Now the good news for this kid is it didn't stop him from going out and enjoying a weekend of fishing the next weekend. He just had to do it in a different method. And speaking of different methods, I'm guessing this is a kind of different way to get a boat out of your way if something winds up crossing your path. Even the pros, as we can see here, wind up making mistakes out on the water. This one is an odd situation though. Typically, you would think that possibly the larger vessel that wound up running into this barge, which probably is a working barge, would be at fault. But in this situation, nobody was ever charged with this accident, even though the barge suffered heavy damage. Now, towing, such as towing a barge, can be a tricky situation. Towing, you've got to pay attention to everything going on around you and make sure everything's just right and that you have the proper equipment for the job. If you go out there and try and tow something without the proper equipment, you're not going to like the result. Now, of course, that doesn't just include out there on the water. If you get out there on the road and try and tow a large boat with a 1500 series truck, you're not going to like that result either. Now, sometimes the boneheaded decisions we'll make when we're out there in the water won't necessarily be something we do about the way we're driving or the way we're acting out there. The boneheaded mistake will be just the fact that we're out there to begin with, without maybe checking the weather a little better and understanding exactly what we were getting ourselves into. Like, I bet this crew right here, right now, which is they were sitting back at a dock, enjoying some nice time on land versus being out there in the water, or that this crew decided they would have stayed on shore versus letting the boat beach on shore, and now it winds up buried like this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think they'll ever even get this one out? Or are they just going to let this one stay buried forever? I can't imagine what it would actually take to get this boat out of the beach now that it's been sitting on this sandbar long enough that it's completely covered. Now, of course, weather is one of those factors that we'll always have to deal with, but us getting out there in the water and making boneheaded choices on our own is still probably one of the leading causes, I believe, of things going wrong out in the water. Sometimes we just go out there, try and showboat a little bit on the water, and things just don't go our way. And other times, maybe they do go our way. I have no clue what to think of this one here. Did our girl miss her stop? Call Uber on the water and have them come pick her up? Or is something else going on here, where our guy just knew where to be to come get her off this boat? Here comes all of her stuff, and they're just gonna get her out of here. I mean, obviously this is not in the US, this is another country. Maybe it's something that is normalized there, something that can be expected, like, hey, we're passing by at this time, and somebody's gonna come pull you off. Or do you think there's another story behind what's going on here, why she's being picked up, and why she's getting off this boat? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Adam Coolidge, Biscayne Boy, Ben Umi, and Epic Shutter did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.